Couple more PS3 Essentials in the bag, but before I show you what they are, I want to have a quick chat about why I started to collect these in the first place. Welcome everybody, and yeah, why did I start collecting PS3 Essentials games in the first place? So, little backstory, some of you may well not know if you've not been to the channel before, or if you've come to us more recently. So the whole idea of the Retro 180 as it's become, and video gaming, retro gaming with my kids, the virtual father sort of thing that I've set up on YouTube, it's less than a year old. The idea sort of came to me about 12 months ago when I was off work and I wasn't well. This time 12 months ago I wasn't well. I was home off work and I had time to sit watch a bit of YouTube, other YouTubers, because at that point I wasn't a YouTuber, and I stumbled across a channel called Retro Ghetto. Now I'm sure some of you, if you're watching me, you're no doubt into retro gaming, you've no doubt seen Callum, Retro Ghetto channel before. Fantastic channel. But anyway, I stumbled across his channel, watching his content, loving it, and it just raised that sort of idea in my head as to me maybe in my own way getting into retro gaming properly and picking up games. And I thought, well, you know what, I've got my kids, it's something that we could all do together. I'm not with them all the time, I don't live with my kids unfortunately, but when we're together it's something we could do. So that sort of idea sparked around about 12 months ago in my mind. And whilst I was watching Retro Ghetto, I saw that he was collecting the PS3 Essentials. I think around about that time, I might have got my dates wrong, but I think around that time he was getting to the back end of completing that set. He got the full set. So that sort of went into my mind as something to collect. But when I started this channel, Virtual Father, the whole idea was see how we go out, me and the kids, to the retro gaming markets and the retro game shops and just see what we could pick up. Mainly just not collecting, as I've said before, it's mainly just picking up games, either games I've had before and sharing that sort of nostalgia and experience with my kids, or games maybe I've not experienced before and the three of us get to experience them together for the first time. And that's been great. I've been loving that for what we're on now. I think we're about 8 months in to this channel, and we've been loving doing that, and we've collected a bunch of games for different systems, but I didn't really have a focus. It's been kind of ad hoc, mainly focused on fantastic Sega stuff, but I've got the OG Xbox as well, and I've got the PS3. And initially I was picking up PS3 games randomly, quite cheap, picking up things that sort of sparked my interest, and I was getting, as you can see, these sort of regular games, and I'd not gone down the PS3 Essentials path. And I just started to think, you know what, I love doing the sort of virtual father side of it with my kids and picking up random games and just experience the gaming with them. I really do love that part of it, but part of me wanted a focus. And my mind sort of went back to when I've been watching Retro Ghetto and the PS3 Essentials stuff, because I'd never heard of them until that point. Until I saw his channel, I'd never even heard of PS3 Essentials. I'd sort of probably seen them on the shelves and stuff, but it had not quite registered. And I thought, I went back to that and I thought, do you know what? That could actually be something I could try and do. Maybe not get the full set, which is how I'm standing with it at the minute. I've sort of told myself that probably won't get a full set, but get a substantial portion of it, the ones I'm interested in. So that's what I've started to do, because it gives me, as I think I've said, it gives me that focus. It gives me something when I'm going out sort of randomly picking up games with the kids. It's also something to focus on as a collector now, because if I'm totally honest, from telling myself when I started this that I was just going to be doing the gaming and I'm not a collector, I actually kind of got the collecting bug a little bit, and I, rather than sort of trying to collect everything, because I don't have the space, as I mentioned before, Retro 180 is not a massive space, so I thought, well, narrow it down, what you're going to collect for, and PS3 Essentials seemed a decent one. Now I think, you know, if I do end up going down the path of trying to complete it and having a full set of them, probably going to find it difficult price-wise, tracking some of them down, etc. I think some of them are from like other countries. I don't think they're all UK-based, some of these PS3 Essentials games. I think there's all sorts of reasons why it could be tricky to get a full set like Callum did, or has, but it's something to focus on, as well as a collector, as well as doing the gaming stuff with the kids, which I really enjoy as well. I hope that makes sense. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Have I gone down the right path of this sort of rabbit hole of being a collector as well as just gaming, or maybe should I have not done it? But in my opinion, I've kind of done the right thing. I feel happy that I've got to focus now, especially for the PS3 stuff, because PS3 was kind of the console, if I was going to collect for anything, it was always going to be the PS3. I don't really know why. I think possibly, although my love and loyalty really goes with Sega, because that's where I was at as a kid. Master System, Mega Drive, Saturn, Dreamcast. I had the 32X, I had the Mega CD with my brother. We sort of combined together our money, if you like, and our resources, and we got the Mega CD, 32X and Mega Drive all together as a bundle. So whenever there was a Sega console, I were there, my brother was there. That's where my nostalgia's at. I had a Super Nintendo, I was very lucky I had a Super Nintendo as well, and other consoles. I had N64, GameCube, ultimately Xbox, PlayStation 2. I've rattled through all of them, been quite lucky, but even though my passion is with Sega, I suppose, really being honest, space being tight, budget often being tight, I couldn't really see myself being able to collect properly for any of the Sega consoles. So I thought, well, what else could I do as a backup? And PS3 just seemed a bit of a no-brainer, I suppose. Going into CEX and other places and seeing how cheap the games are to pick up for it, it just seemed like a good idea. Now, I know there's expensive games on the PS3 as well, like all consoles, but you can still pick up quite a lot of the catalogue of games relatively cheaply. And so that's why I went down the PS3 collecting route, and now I've narrowed that down further, the subset of the PS3 Essentials. I think that's, in my brain, that works better. I've got something to really focus on and swap out the other games now as I come across the replacements on the Red Spine set. So yeah, that's the backstory to it. So with the backstory out of the way, let's get tucked in. Let's have a see what's in here, the couple that I've picked up. But having said that, actually, no, I'm going to make you pause a little bit longer. I'm going to tease you a little bit longer because I want to share a little story that sort of warmed my heart a little bit and give me some faith in the future of retro gaming, especially with the channel being about being virtual father and gaming with my kids who are pretty young, sort of at 9 and 10. I spotted something that really, like I said, warmed my heart when I was in CeX picking these up the other day. So I'm looking round, I go in, I'm looking round, and I happen to sort of be a bit nosy. Listen in, there's two girls that looked about anywhere between sort of 15 and 17. So, you know, younger kids, teenage kids though, but, you know, young people, and they're stood looking at the retro stuff. They're looking at PS2, they're looking at PS3, they're discussing different games on them, and they're clearly in the know, quite a lot in the know about some of these games, and really, by the sounds of it, really enjoying going out together and picking up what to them is retro games. I mean, for me, proper retro is going back sort of 90s, 8-bit, 16-bit era, 32-bit era, but PS2 to a 16-year-old, let's say on average, let's say 16, to a 16-year-old, PS2 is proper retro. You know, they've not been around playing them first time round. And it just warmed my heart a little bit listening to how passionate they were about these old games that they'd not even played before. So they didn't really have any nostalgia, but they were just really into them, and they were quite clearly collecting them because they talked about games that they got at home, how many they got on the system. I could just hear them having this chat with each other. So I just thought I'd share that with you because us old fossils, well, I suppose I should speak for myself, but me as an old fossil, I sometimes think about it, I don't know why, but sometimes my brain goes on sort of the future of retro gaming and these games, consoles and these old video games, and will they have a future once us older folks have sort of done with them, been and gone? Will the younger generations come through and enjoy them as much and keep, take up the baton, if you like, and keep it going? I mean, I'm trying to do it with my kids. Nothing to guarantee that they will as they get older. They might stay interested in it, they might not. But I'm trying, I'm doing my little bit, and I'm sure lots of you out there are doing the same with your kids as well. But it was just really nice because I've not heard, I suppose, out in the wild, I've not heard that sort of thing or seen that sort of dynamic going on from young people, unless there's maybe been a parent there. But these two were on their own. They were out and about, shopping and looking through retro games, PS2, PS3, and really enjoying trying to pick out what game they were both going to take that day. I just thought it was really nice. I thought it was a story to share with you. So yeah, long may that continue. Sort of, I suppose, what is it, Gen Z and younger, keep the retro gaming up, keep going. I think, actually, looking at some of the data, because I had a look online, if I'm honest, and Gen Z apparently are actually getting really into the retro game. I think it's quite a big chunk of them enjoying it. I suppose a little bit like one of my other passions. My brother, last year, I think it was, he got me back into vinyl, so I've got a little vinyl collection going. And the youngsters are into that as well, aren't they? So it just was nice to think that, yeah, this is maybe not something that will fizzle out so quickly as maybe I initially wrongly thought once our generation should have gone out of the way. The youngsters are coming through and enjoying this stuff, which is lovely. Right, so I've made you wait long enough. Let's get in. So the first one shouldn't be a shock because I had to go back to CeX. If you saw the last video, I had to go back because they made a little bit of a mistake and they put the wrong disc in a box. So I switched it out. I got the replacement, so I've now got, if I pop it open, for £2, I've got my actual Essentials disc and the CIB, I've got the manual in there as well, which again, if you're not aware, I'm not a big CIB collector, but for the PS3 Essentials stuff, I'm going CIB. I'm not picking them up unless they are complete in box. So yeah, Hitman, take a look at this. I'll do my little retrospective for it now, and then I'll show you what the other game is in the bag. Released in 2012 for the PS3, Hitman Absolution marked a controversial shift in the stealth franchise. Developed by IO Interactive, the game follows Agent 47 on a more personal mission, featuring a more linear, story-driven approach compared to the open-ended sandbox design of earlier entries. The core stealth gameplay is still present, disguises, silent takedowns and creative assassinations, but levels are often segmented and more scripted. The new Instinct mode highlights enemies and paths, making stealth more accessible but less challenging for series veterans. Visually, the game looks impressive for its time, with moody lighting, gritty environments and cinematic cutscenes. While Absolution offers polish and solid mechanics, it sacrifices some of what made Hitman unique: freedom and experimentation. That said, the game's standout moments like the Chinatown level remind you of the series' potential. Not a classic Hitman entry, but Absolution still delivers a slick, entertaining stealth action experience, just a more guided hand.
You have activated a checkpoint. If you die or if you choose to restart, you will start at this location.
Right then, so it's PS3 Essentials Pickup Part 2 time for today. So what's in the bag now? Let's have a look. And it is Uncharted Drake's Fortune. So I managed to pick this up. I had it originally in the regular version, the vanilla version, but now I've got my Essentials one to go with the rest of them that I've got so far. So just a mere £1.50. Quality game. I completed this not so long since, about 3 or 4 months ago, maybe a bit longer, but roughly this year, I'm pretty certain it was, because before I'd started collecting for the PS3, if I'm honest, to my shame, I'd not played the Uncharted games. I don't know how the heck that happened, but I'd not played these. So as soon as I picked up the other copy, I stuck it into the PS3 and I was hooked to it straight away. Love these Uncharted games. Uncharted 2's a better game, I would say, but yeah, I did it in order, which I think is sensible, and yeah, played this, loved it from start to finish, couldn't put it down. So yeah, this was a completion this year, but I'll do a little retrospective for this one like I normally do, and I'll be back in a bit. Released in 2007, Uncharted Drake's Fortune was Naughty Dog's bold introduction to the cinematic action-adventure series that would become a PlayStation icon. You play as Nathan Drake, a charismatic treasure hunter on a quest to find El Dorado, navigating jungles, ancient ruins and plenty of danger along the way. The game blends third-person shooting, platforming and puzzle solving with a heavy dose of cinematic storytelling. The cover-based gunplay is functional, though not as refined as the later entries, and some combat encounters drag on a little bit. However, the real stars are the vibrant visuals, stunning for the time, strong voice acting, and sharp writing, especially the chemistry between Drake, Sully, and Alina. While Drake's Fortune shows its age in spots, it laid the groundwork for one of gaming's most beloved series. It's a bit rough around the edges, but as a starting point, it's an exciting, charming adventure that is definitely worth playing. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. So I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have and you've not subscribed to the channel already, please don't forget to do so. We really do appreciate it. By the time this video goes out, it will have passed my son's birthday, so a belated happy birthday to you, little man. And we'll also be getting quite close. I'm not sure, it'll probably be about 10 days after you guys see this, but we're getting pretty close now to going to the Sheffield gaming market, me and the kids. So if you want to see us do that, that's another reason to stick with the channel and subscribe if you've not already, so you get to see us go out and do that. We love going out to the gaming markets, me and the kids. But yeah, that is pretty much it today. Don't forget to leave a like and comment as well. We love to hear from you. Take care. Keep enjoying your gaming. Bye for now.